Dev Diary 26, The Masquerade. It's not a suggestion, it's the law. To drive this home, the first video they show is of your character, Fire, still not a great name, running afoul of a special tactical team designed to take you down. Ultimately, you get staked and the screen fades to black. Well, that looks like fun, though I'd be surprised if this happens to me, as I tend to be pretty sneaky. Then again, there are those times where you just say, screw it, I'm just gonna go kill everything and see what happens. Now, what's different in this versus what happened in Bloodlines 1 is you broke the Masquerade all you wanted to and lose humanity, and nothing really happened in the original game. This one, they promise that there will be consequences. A nice thing they do next in the article is address YouTube, cell phone video, and the like. I can't say that I particularly agree with the idea that, it's easy to dismiss as clickbait and as a hoax, as there would have to be a lot of this video out there. But at least they do make an effort to address it. These secret societies get harder and harder to keep in place the more technology grows and the more communications, YouTube, X, etc. It's hard to hide. But we know they do make an effort because they understand that they have to. And I appreciate that the devs mentioned that while there are a select few who think, we can go do what we want to do, most of these vampire organizations are well aware that they would get stomped out in a heartbeat if they had one, and their only means of survival is to hide away in the shadows and pull as many strings as they can. In this next clip, they show the PC taking acidic touch as one of their powers, and this is what happens. As you can see, the body that they hit with this touch just disappears. Now, of course, the ones they exploded and the guys who ran away, they're going to go tell people stuff. That's a Masquerade violation. And as the Camarilla is concerned, our player character is the sheriff, so we're going to be responsible for enforcing these rules. In this next clip, they're highlighting those symbols in the top middle of your screen. We see Fire use an ability, make a whole lot of noise, and the sexy woman wants to know what happened. Yet another Masquerade violation, and so Fire has to go running down an alleyway and climb a pipe, getting onto a roof where you're now safe. That open eye symbol means that you are being actively observed by a human. The farther you are away from observation, the more the eye closes. The bars on either side fill from green, yellow to red. When the bars are green, it's just a minor infraction. Maybe you did too high of a jump, but keep doing minor infractions and they'll start creeping up to yellow and then red. Now you get caught feeding, that automatically gets you to yellow, or maybe you're using one of those violent abilities. And these are the things that'll get you reported to the police as well. The police are also under the thumb of the Camarilla. And once it goes to red, you are being actively hunted. Now, one cool thing is you can deal with these witnesses in multiple ways. Maybe you kill them, or maybe you use one of your abilities to make them forget. Keep on with this, and you're probably going to get smoked. Next up, they address the fact that, again, we are going to be playing the sheriff, and we are going to have to keep the peace, and the Masquerade. In this clip, we can see a bunch of vampires having a firefight. Just the sort of thing we get to go down and break up. They didn't say whether we could do it peacefully or with just excessive violence. And well, as you can see from that clip, things did not go too well for those doing the shooting. A quick bite and a neck snap and one of them down. Next we learn how the Chinese room has made each district its own separate unique world. Different lighting, different types of buildings, different things that are going to be around for us to interact with, to hide behind, climb, and it will also affect the kinds of individuals who will be in that district. The Chinese room tells us that the rooftops, well, those are our playground as the player, but when you're on the street level, that's human territory, and if you're not hidden away doing those vampire things, you are breaking the masquerade. Next, they show us a rough outline of each district with 1 or 2 key points in each one. To this point, we have no indication of how many points of interest there are, but they have suggested 4 that this thing is chock full of NPCs that we can interact with. Your ability to hide, your ability to traverse the buildings, the types of buildings there are. They want to make sure the player can use the environment, but make the environments distinct enough that each district feels like its own area. They also note that these districts are full of little goodies for you to find. So, if you go insane and kill everybody, you get killed. Or if you play it too safe and don't actually go exploring deep into these nooks and crannies, you're going to miss a lot of things. Next, they dive into social feeding, the stuff you do when you're not in combat, just trying to grab a bite so that you can power some more abilities. This will be where you're really going to be paying attention to those blood essences. And you'll note that social feeding takes longer. You're going to get more out of it, but you're going to have to work for it a little more than just running up and biting someone. As you can see in this clip, biting the sexy woman, must be a bunch of those running around this city. Is that our euphemism for prostitute? Well, this feeding doesn't go quite as planned as you get spotted, and you have to go run away. Can't say that I find the animation of this feeding particularly awesome, and I do wonder if each clan gets its own feeding animation. I mean, really, can you beat the Malkavian jumping up, wrapping her legs around the individual, and then feeding that we got in Bloodlines 1? Lead designer Gavin Hood mentions that he loves playing the Ventrue because you can use those social skills, convince somebody to go into that dark alley so that you can feed on them. And this does indicate that there will be different methods and different dialogues to use depending on your clan. And you will have different dialogues and different options depending on where you are. He mentions that bikers in the downtown area, you're going to handle differently than you might a shopper in uptown. Cool. The more social interactions there are, the better. Tying all this masquerading around with level design, a community Q&A is held in the next video. Now, this one's about 26 minutes long, and I'll go over that in my next post, as it is quite the departure from the topic of the masquerade. And finally, for this dev diary, they tell us on the 26th, it's the cast of mortals. So what are your thoughts on the masquerade? Looking to go giga-violent or do all the social things you possibly can? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.